Hello and welcome to History for Weirdos.
We're your hosts, Andrew
and Stephanie,
and we're going to take you on a journey into the strange, obscure, and relentlessly entertaining corners of human history.
Now listen up, friends, because it's about to get weird.
Weirdos, welcome back to another episode of History for Weirdos.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. And as you can see or hear,
or not see,
actually, we do not have a video episode this week. It is just audio.
Yeah, we're kicking it old school.
It old school. Yeah, we haven't done an audio only episode in actually quite a while.
How long? Has it been like over a year, 2 years? 7?
I actually don't know. 2, 3, 75 years?
Yeah.
It's been like a hot minute.
Yeah. This feels
It really does feel old school.
Yeah. For people who watch the video, we apologize, but for people who don't, this should be the exact same experience for you.
Yeah, literally nothing changes.
But for us, it's a slightly cozier experience because we don't have like the big light like glaring at us, and we're on the couch instead of at the dining table.
Exactly.
A little more relaxed.
It's definitely a lot more relaxed.
And we have Perry in his crate.
Yeah.
So he's not perturbing us too much.
He's not. He has a cone right now, or otherwise he'd just be like running into everything, knocking things over. It's a daily struggle.
It's been days with the cone, and he has not shown any resilience.
Literally none.
He is extremely depressed because he has a cone. Otherwise, he'll lick his paw to death, apparently.
I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah. So we've just been dog parenting over here.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's really fun. I've been super busy with work. It's been a good summer for my practice, so that's exciting. Nothing to do with History for Weirdos, but it's been an exciting summer in that regard.
And while we're on the subject of not talking about History for Weirdos, on History for Weirdos, you guys should check out Stephanie's Substack. I will put it in the show notes. But Stephanie if you don't know, she is a pretty prolific writer.
Oh my God. No,
I'm just hyping her
up.
No, she's an incredible writer, and she writes, I mean, her speciality in the mental health world is parentification.
Yeah.
And she's kind of a badass. I might be a little bit biased, but
you are hyping me up way too much, but thank you. I appreciate it. Weirdos, that is Good Girl Rehab.
Good Girl Rehab, thank you.
Is the name of the Substack. And I am pleasantly surprised at how, like, I don't have a lot of followers. I just got on there a couple months ago. But I'm pleasantly surprised at how many folks appear to be male identifying. I think that's awesome. They've been very supportive.
I know, for a name like Good Girl Rehab, that is kind of funny.
It's been a lot of older men, too. Like a lot of dads, granddads, being very supportive and being like, yeah, I love this.
That's amazing.
So to me, I think a lot of podcast listeners would like Substack in general. Not necessarily mine, but there's so many good ones.
No, definitely yours.
Yeah, definitely. Because it is like a more community-oriented, like cozy corner of the internet.
Yeah.
And that's how I see podcasts.
Yeah, it's pretty rare these days, actually.
Yeah.
To have that.
We were just talking today about how we're kind of long-form content people.
Yeah, we really are. I mean, I had a TikTok that did do well, like in 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
But I felt very disconnected from it, like pretty early on, just because I like explaining like difficult, nuanced things. And, you know, especially at the time, it was like quick, punchy, gotta get every little second like counts and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God, I hate this.
Yeah, it's too much.
Way too much.
And then with, like, who doesn't like the quick dopamine hit, I guess, of like TikTok or some short form video? But as like what I witnessed when you were doing really well was like the, I don't know, disillusionment of like people making snap judgments about you or your content. And it's like, you literally watched a 7-second video.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I got called a fascist just simply because I like Roman history. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, you are literally you're barking up the wrong tree, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, you're completely off base. And second of all, like, hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Like who does that stuff? Because it's not like I'm literally saying those type of things. I'm literally talking about like politics of the 2nd century BC, like in the Roman Republic. Like, how do you make that snap judgment?
And I see it still, not as much, I guess, because I'm not on TikTok anymore. But I still see that where like a creator will post something and people will make like a big judgment of their character over like the smallest thing. Like a video that comes to mind is someone was like, I like me and my partner, we live together, and I like to be the person that like makes the lists of things that needs to get done, and my partner likes to be the person like executing, blah blah blah.
Oh, that's a great combination.
Yeah, I was like, oh, how nice. That's great that like you found your match, is what I thought. And then the comments were like crazy. Like someone was like, how like disgraceful that your partner makes you do all of the mental labor. And then on the flip side of like, wow, so you're basically just like bossing them around, acting like they're your servant. And I was like, holy smokes.
Clearly people who are not in like loving committed relationships. Like
Yes.
no one who's in a loving committed relationship would ever say that.
Make that quick of a judgment on someone's relationship. Yeah. Or any aspect of their lives. I mean, I think the people that get it the worst are parents.
Oh yeah.
Like when they're trying to show something
But not dog
funny.
parents, right?
Not dog parents. We are such a good community.
I'm sorry.
No,
sorry.
actually dog parents.
No, yeah, you're right. No, I've seen people get absolutely shit on.
Yes.
Excuse my French. I'm sorry if there's anyone young
Yes.
listening, but
like people be like, God, like I hope your dog doesn't die after this. And it's like,
you're like, oh my God.
it's a video of them jumping on the couch. Like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
I remember one time we posted a story of Stella,
Oh.
our previous dog, a corgi mix. She looked like for people who don't remember Stella, she looked like a big dog got their head smushed onto a little dog body.
She had she had a long body, but like short, stumpy legs.
Super stumpy. And it was just like, and she had like that funny ballerina stance, remember?
Yes, I remember.
So I took a picture of like her funny body and her funny ballerina stance, and I posted it on our stories, and someone was like, oh my God, cut your dog's nails immediately, in all caps. And I was like, oh yeah, her nails are long, but she had
objectively, yeah.
Yeah, she had a groomer's appointment, like I get it. But why do you feel compelled to say that?
Yeah, I don't know. I truly don't understand that mindset.
And that's pretty mild, to be fair, but I just thought it was so absurd.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Also, we got off topic.
Yeah, we're way off topic. I don't even, we're literally 7.5 minutes into this episode and we're just like ranting.
Well,
oh yeah, your Substack. It's awesome.
come find me on Substack.
Yeah.
It's more mental health oriented. For sure. There's a lot of parentification stuff, but there's also a lot of content for anxiety management, people pleasers.
You throw in history in there as well, right? It's not the main thing.
I'm going to. That's my plan.
Oh, okay.
I want to start using like some women throughout history as like archetypes to look at.
Ooh, I like that.
So yeah, maybe the weirdos would like to see that. Let me know, weirdos.
I think they would. I'm speaking on like their behalf.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Should we get to the episode?
Yeah, Stephanie, I know this is actually a highly requested episode brought forth by the weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
And it is also coincidentally a period of time that you adore. It is kind of like my Roman Empire.
I don't think so.
You know what this isn't? I'm
No.
shocked.
No, I don't think so.
Is it Victorian England?
I think it's a more Victorian era.
I mean, this kind of is Victorian, just in the United States.
It's close. It's
Yeah.
not the exact same.
Oh, it's a little earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but similar. Yes.
Similar, okay.
And yes, it was highly requested, which got me excited. Even two people near and dear to our hearts requested it. Tatiana, our editor, she was like, do it.
Shout out Tatiana.
And then our friend Mitzi.
Shout out Mitzi.
Shout out Mitzi, who's like not the biggest history fan, but she was like, wait, asking us all these questions about the subject of today. Wait, it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
About the Gilded Age.
Yes. Like they know what it is based off the title.
Yeah, that's right.
Even though ironically, as we're recording this, I don't have a title yet, but it's going to include Gilded Age.
It's going to say Gilded Age in
Yeah.
there. And then Mitzi was like, you should do an episode. And I was like, I already have one planned. So this is for all of you weirdos and Mitzi and Tatiana.
Yes. Without further ado, we have some Gilded Age content. Let's go.
So today we are going to be talking about a specific facet of Gilded Age society called the Dollar Princesses.
The Dollar Princesses. Okay, I know very little about them, so this is exciting.
Well, because you are up to date with the latest season of the Gilded Age, you know more than you think.
Oh.
So, let me start off by saying the Gilded Age is an era of history, but it's also a show on HBO Max.
Which we do love.
And it's a surprisingly accurate portrayal of late 19th century New York high society. The show is created and written by Julian Fellowes. He's a British screenwriter, and he is most famous for creating Downton Abbey.
Oh,
Quite, which we are also fans of.
Yes.
For the show The Gilded Age, especially for the current season, Fellowes was inspired by real-life historical events. The plot of the marriage of convenience between a woman named Consuelo Vanderbilt and the Duke of Marlborough.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Also, very interesting first name.
Yes, she is not Hispanic.
Okay.
But Consuelo is a Hispanic name. It's un consuelo in Spanish is like...
That's a woman's name, Consuelo.
Consuelo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an old-timey name, like Abu's name, Dolores, Remedios, Candelaria, Refugio. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Consuelo means like a consolation.
Consolation prize?
Kind of, yeah, like a consolation or an emotional comfort.
Oh, I see.
Like to console.
To console.
Consuelo.
Got it.
Yeah, so we are going to be touching on subjects of season 3, but Andrew and I agreed we won't give any spoilers.
Right, we're just doing history.
In case anyone is not up to date on the show.
Yeah.
But this will give you a lot of information on one of the leading families of the show, the Russells.
The Russells.
And who inspired the Russells in the Gilded Age.
This is interesting. They should have sponsored us.
Yeah, wait a
Why
second.
didn't we think of that?
HBO Max. Do you remember who the Russells are?
Yeah, the main characters in the show.
There's many main characters.
But like the main family. They're the main one. The guy that I'm like a business tycoon, man.
Yeah.
And then the woman.
Carrie Coon.
The actor's name's Carrie Coon?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know his name.
No, the woman, the wife.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. And she's also in White Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny because I don't think they're like the main family. I think it's split between the Russells and the family that lives across the street. They have like multiple last names in the house.
Yeah.
But
I know who you're talking
old
about.
ladies and the blonde.
Right.
I feel like they're also the main characters, don't you?
I feel like it's the Russells.
Oh, okay. Well, then you'll like this episode. So we are going to start off by giving some context of the Gilded Age, okay? And then we'll get into the scandalous marriage of convenience that I mentioned.
Ooh, lovely.
So the turn of the 20th century marked a time of rapid industrialization and wealth in the U.S., now known as the Gilded Age. But where did we get that name?
Oh, I think I know. Can I venture a guess?
Yeah, of course.
So when something is gilded, it has like a thin gold layer on top of it, but underneath it's not gold. It's not solid gold. And so that's what I'm guessing the name comes from, is like there was a veneer of awesomeness, for lack of a better term, a veneer of progress. It's a facade though. It's not real. Beneath that is like high income inequality and like racism and systemic issues that are like plaguing the country below the top like 0.1%.
Whoa. That's me snapping.
It sounds really familiar.
Gosh, I can't even imagine why that is. But you're absolutely right, Andrew. And more specifically, like you hit on literally, I have sections: wealth versus poverty, progress versus exploitation, freedom versus institutionalized racism. Like, yes, you hit the nail on the head. But
And I'm not even like an American history guy.
no, this is very impressive. Even more specifically, we actually have that phrase for this era going back to Mark Twain.
Oh, wow. It's like a long, long time ago.
Mark Twain and Charles Dudley Warner named the Gilded Age in their 1873 satirical novel, The Gilded Age, A Tale of Today. Also, I think I said at the beginning, I just see in my notes, it's incorrect, the 20th century. I meant the 19th century earlier.
Yeah. No, I know what you meant.
Okay. And the term gilded refers to something covered with a thin layer of gold or painted gold to make it look valuable. This name implies that the success and progress of the era were superficial due to the nation's materialism, corruption, and social problems.
Hell yeah.
So you were right. And I was going to touch on those social problems a little bit more. Andrew already gave us a taste. So when we look at the Gilded Age, and the show is a really good example of that, one of the big things that comes to mind is like extravagant wealth, right? That's because there were a lot of booming fortunes at the time. Mm-hmm. There were industrialists like Rockefeller, Carnegie, and Vanderbilt who amassed unimaginable wealth. But at the same time, there was widespread poverty. Most Americans, especially immigrants or factory workers, labored for very long hours in extremely dangerous conditions for low pay.
Yeah.
That's most people's lives at this time.
Exactly. Like, I mean, factories were so dangerous. Like, you could get your arm like ripped off and,
And then you're just out of a job.
Yeah, there's no like accidental death and dismemberment insurance, right? Like, they didn't care about safety. They'll just get someone else to fill in the place, right?
Yeah, because people were hungry.
People were hungry. And these, I think, not all of them, right? But these industrialists, they really saw people as replaceable. They didn't really see them as anything besides like cogs in a machine to make more profit.
And the next point is progress versus exploitation.
Man, I am on fire right now.
Yeah. So during this era, innovation thrived, right? This was the age of railroads, electricity, skyscrapers, big buildings. Not like skyscrapers today, of course, but to them, they were like, these buildings are huge.
Gigantic.
However, workers suffered. The very labor that built these innovations was exploited labor. Child labor, as we mentioned, unsafe workplaces, and basically like no protections, no unions, nothing like that.
Exactly.
Gosh, you are on fire today. And then the last point, and this is not, of course, all encompassing. There's so many contradictions of this era, but the last point that I'll make for today before we continue is the ideal of freedom versus institutionalized racism. So there's a gap between the American ideal of freedom and this idea of like, look, we're America, anyone can get rich.
Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, right? Like equality under the law, etc.
Yeah, anyone here can like make it big. You could be the next Rockefeller. That's not true if you're black, though. Like,
it's like, sure, we just fought a war like against slavery. You're no longer enslaved, but you're going to be a wage slave, though.
Absolutely. Reconstruction era has ended, and the black communities were left very vulnerable to not just oppression, but real violence. Like, it was a very violent time. There were public lynchings. If there were black businesses, they would be lit on fire. Like, it was no joke. And Jim Crow laws enforced segregation. Lots of white supremacist groups were making sure there was voter suppression tactics. It still happens today, but in different ways. And despite these brutal conditions, though, black communities do resist through education, organizing, and cultural resilience. We actually see this resilience in a lot of icons that we all know. We know their names, and they are from this era. They are adults working and thriving. Those include Ida B. Wells, W.E.B. Du Bois, and Madam C.J. Walker, who you did an episode on.
It was me? I
Yeah.
thought it was you.
I thought it was you.
It was so long ago. I don't remember. It was the last episode before we had our first hiatus, like back in 2020.
I'm pretty sure it was you because you liked that she's the first self-made black millionaire in the US.
Yeah, that is correct. I genuinely don't remember which one of us did that episode. It might have been me.
Weirdos, go listen and let us know.
Seriously.
So just to wrap up on this point, we actually see, I will say the show does a good job of covering those topics of like, what was it like for the black community at this time?
They do, yeah.
And we see that a lot through one of my favorite characters, Peggy. I love Peggy.
She is pretty cool.
She's a writer. She's a journalist. She's a suffragette. She's got cute outfits.
What's there not to like?
What's not to like? Sadly, though, Peggy isn't based on like a real singular person. Otherwise, I would have done an episode on the real life Peggy.
Yeah.
I did look it up. So I shared all of that information as the backdrop to the world of the dollar princesses.
No, I love this. I mean, this is what I do too. You got to paint like a broad stroke picture of like what is like the world that these people inhabit, so that you can kind of like better understand them before going into like who they are. Because a lot of the times, like you just can't place contemporary values onto like either, especially ancient societies or even like a society from like 100, 150 years ago.
Yeah, that's so well said. I really wanted to show that this is an era of extremes. And on the dark side, I'd say an era of hypocrisy, really.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And of course, there are good things that we get from this time, but there's also like a lot of messiness.
Yeah.
Which is why it has its name. So the dollar princesses of the Gilded Age are that sweet intersection of old money needs to stay relevant. New money wants to seem legitimate.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what we could do? We could use our daughters as pawns in this.
This literally happened with like in ancient Rome. I'm not even joking. Like
Yeah?
like the end of the 2nd century BC, beginning of the 1st century BC, you had like
that's right.
the rich plebeians marrying like the poor patricians.
Yeah.
Because at that point, like wealth wasn't an indicator of being a plebeian or patrician.
Yes.
Those were ancient by that time.
Yes, you're right. Wasn't Augustus's second wife patrician, and that's part of why he liked her so much? Livia?
Maybe. I actually don't know. That's a great question.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, let's go with that. Probably. Oh, yeah, definitely. Because she's I think from the Claudii.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, she's definitely a patrician.
So that's sort of, I don't personally have any wealth, but my family did a long time ago. So
Yeah.
therefore we're seen as like
We're
legit.
distinguished like family
Distinguished,
within
yeah.
the Republic. Yeah.
That's a good way of describing it. And that's what's going on here with the dollar princesses. So the whole idea emerged from money problems that specifically British noble families had. So they had these big estates, right? But they didn't have any cash. They couldn't. Those estates are expensive
They are.
to run. You have a staff. There's always a leaky roof. You got all those grounds to keep.
Yeah, and they just weren't really good at like utilizing, I realized, like a lot of the grounds to produce like cash flowing assets
No, because that would have been seen
as like gauche or
as low
whatever.
class.
Yeah. It's just
Right?
so
Because nobility
dumb.
doesn't work for money, they inherit it. But unfortunately, many of these families were not good stewards of that money.
Yeah.
And obviously, noble families at this point are already losing power and influence in England, as
Yes.
they should. As they should.
yeah, that's like Stephanie's Irish coming out right there.
Oh, yeah. Didn't even realize I said that.
Come out to your black and tans, come out and fight me like a man.
So at the same time, we have all of these new rich American families.
Yes. Okay.
And they are looking for a way to climb the social ladder, not just in the US, but overseas. So their solution is let's marry our daughters into the British aristocracy and we can trade cash for titles.
Yeah, that sounds like fair.
Going back to Julian Fellowes' other hit show, Downton Abbey. This is important.
No, I wasn't expecting that.
The character Cora Crawley, the mom of the show,
Yes.
she's a dollar princess.
Yes, she would be.
Yeah.
And her English husband blows through her fortune.
Yes, she's the archetype of the wealthy American woman who married into the British aristocratic family to save Downton Abbey. You know, that's how she marries Lord Grantham, and her dowry helps keep it alive.
And he's a count?
He's a duke. An earl.
An earl.
The Earl of Grantham.
The earl, yeah, right. So she's an earless, I guess.
Yes. I don't know.
That doesn't sound really like duchess sounds cooler.
Let me look it up.
I think a duke is higher than an earl, but like it just from like an aesthetic perspective.
Yeah. Let me see. What's an earl's wife called?
Yeah, I'm kind of interested actually.
Oh, a countess.
Oh. Countess does sound kind of cool actually.
Yeah, that sounds better. Well,
there you have it.
that's a dollar princess we know and love.
Wow.
But the dollar princesses aren't solely pawns in a man's world. Many of these women do take privilege of this power that they have bringing the money into the family, right? Money is power in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And they use that influence for good.
Oh,
And we will get to that shortly.
that's so nice.
So now let's talk about a little family called the Vanderbilts. Have you heard of them?
You know, I heard there's this one university.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Vandy.
Vandy. So perhaps the most famous dollar princess was Consuelo Vanderbilt.
Dude, I can't get over that name.
I feel like I should say it the way everyone would have said it.
How would they have said it back
Consuelo,
then?
right?
Yeah.
Consuelo Vanderbilt.
They would not have had like a Spanish accent with it.
No. She got her name, by the way. I didn't put it in my notes, but since you brought it up, her godmother was an Argentine heiress
Oh, okay.
named Consuelo, and they named her after her.
Gotcha.
So Consuelo Vanderbilt was an American socialite, and her family is extremely powerful. I mean, the name rings true today when we think of money and wealth and influence, even though the Vanderbilts don't have that power anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
They really capture so much of the drama and the values and the aesthetic of the Gilded Age. So they had like this lightning fast, unimaginable like rise to wealth. They lived over the top lifestyles, and then eventually they lose everything.
Wow.
So it's very dramatic. I think that's why people are kind of fascinated by them.
Right.
Anderson Cooper's a Vanderbilt.
I was literally just about to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't he one of them? Okay. Well,
He wrote a book about the Vanderbilt family. I don't think, though, now that I'm thinking about it, like I've seen him talk about it in interviews, he didn't really grow up. I mean, by the time he was born, they didn't have wealth. He didn't really grow up close to them, but was always like kind of fascinated by them. So I really want to read that one. So how did they get so rich? That's what we want to know.
yeah.
Yeah. In 1810,
I need the advice.
yeah. Cornelius Commodore was his nickname, Vanderbilt. This would be Consuelo's great-grandfather, or great-great-grandfather, perhaps, one of the two.
Okay.
Her ancestor launched what would become one of America's most iconic family empires with a modest loan of $100 from his mom.
Wow. Talk about like the greatest loan like ever.
The greatest loan ever, right? So his mom gives him $100.
It's a little less than like a modest like $1 million loan.
Yeah, just a modest $1 million loan.
I mean,
We've all had
we can all
those.
ask our parents for a modest million.
Of course. So he gets the money and he starts a business of ferrying passengers between Staten Island and Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
So he sees a need. That's what he does with the money. He quickly gains a reputation for grit, ambition, and shrewd business sense. And his success in that industry paves the way for his expansion into railroads, culminating in the creation of the New York Central Railroad.
Interesting.
Pretty big deal.
That's a huge deal.
This network stretched across the country and secured Vanderbilt a near monopoly on rail service in and out of New York.
Oh.
By the time of his death in 1877, Vanderbilt had amassed a personal fortune of $100 million.
Which, I mean, at that time is... I mean, today is unbelievable. That back then is just like absurd.
This was more than the holdings of the U.S. Treasury at the time.
Okay, there you go. There you have it.
Yeah. Also, I want to go back. I said I wasn't sure if he was her great-great-grandfather or her great-grandfather. That's because I doubted my notes, but I shouldn't have. Cornelius was Consuelo's great-great-grandfather. I just forgot that people used to have kids young. Because I was like,
Yes.
that's not possible. What if everyone's 35 when they have their first child?
Yeah, no, they had kids. And especially rich people, it's right away. You know?
Yeah, 18 years old having kids. So
Boom.
I forgot about that. I forgot that technically people under the age of 35 can procreate.
I know, right? Crazy.
Crazy. So now that we have a bit of her family history, we're going back to Consuelo.
Let's hear about Consuelo.
So she's born March 2nd, 1877 to William Kissam Vanderbilt and Alva Vanderbilt. Her father, William, was an heir to the railroad fortune that we just learned about and quote-unquote businessman.
He's a businessman.
Yeah.
He does business.
He inherited immense wealth.
So he's a Nepo baby.
He's a Nepo baby, and his dad's name was William Vanderbilt as well.
Also a Nepo baby.
Also a Nepo baby. So Alva, his wife, was ambitious, intelligent, and her main mission in life was to elevate the Vanderbilt family's social standing in New York society, which was initially snubbed by the old money elite.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately, though, you'd think like, oh, they're going to make a good team. Like he's the rich heir and he's like, I want to elevate your family's name. No, they did not get along. They hated each other, apparently. I don't know
So you could
why.
It's safe to assume that they definitely would not have had a podcast together.
No, that would be a terrible podcast.
Or actually be pretty amazing.
or very entertaining. Yeah. So that's the marriage that Consuelo grows up with.
No.
And she has two brothers. Guess what one of her brothers is named?
Oh my God, please tell me it's Consuelo as well.
No, William.
Duh.
Because it's her dad and her grandpa's name.
Her name should have been Consuela and his name should have been Consuelo.
I like it. So she had two brothers. One is William, one is Harold. And they are raised to inherit the fortune and run the family businesses.
The Vandy Empire.
Yeah, because at this point, it's not just the railroads. It's
right.
Railroads and steamboats. It's everything. Consuelo, however, was raised to one day marry a man. Yay. But not just any man. A man that would live up to her mother's expectations. Double yay. So even though...
You sound so excited.
Even though she grew up in luxury, she by no means had an easy childhood.
Oh.
Her mom was incredibly strict and controlling and judgmental. She was very harsh and punishing towards her daughter. And it is this restrictive upbringing that will eventually fuel a passion for advocating for women's rights that Consuelo has. So that's good because she really was a bit of a prisoner in that home. In her memoir, Consuelo wrote this about the summer that she turned 19. Quote, "That summer, I received 2 or 3 other proposals from uninteresting Englishmen, which I found slightly disillusioning. They were so evidently dictated by a desire for my dowry, a reflection that was included to dispel whatever thoughts of romance might come my way."
Oh.
So she was like...
She was not happy about it.
No, she was like, okay, I'll meet the Englishmen that you want me to marry, but they're not even pretending to be into me.
Oh my God. So not only are they insipid, it sounds like they also just don't give a shit about her at all.
They're just chasing the money.
Yeah.
They're gold diggers.
They're gold diggers.
Mm-hmm. And even though Consuelo's peers, the other young girls her age, I mean, she's only 19, but they had been marrying men from quote unquote good families in New York society, none of them had yet married into nobility. And that was Alva Vanderbilt's goal. Not just any man, a noble man.
It's really interesting that at this time that was seen as such a high mark because literally what had been by that time just a little over a century.
We fought a war.
Yeah, a revolution against them.
Yeah, no, at this point during the Gilded Age, and they show this on the show.
It's a century earlier. Yeah.
It's a century earlier. On the show they show it and it's accurate. What is British is very fashionable.
Yes.
It's a sign that you know what's up. If you run your home the way a British home is run, you are the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Which is so weird to me because the whole point is we're American and it's so recent for them.
Yeah, it's literally a century. That's not that long.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, to make her own dreams come true, Alva engineers a meeting between Consuelo and Charles Spencer Churchill, the 9th Duke of Marlborough.
This isn't like a progenitor of like Churchill, right?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly.
Oh, damn. Okay.
You know what was extra enticing about him?
What?
He had a lot of debt.
Oh my God.
I'm not even kidding. She found out. She was like, oh, he is drowning in debt. That's the one. That's the one we're going to go after.
Oh my God.
So to secure this engagement, Consuelo's father, William, in case you forgot his name,
William.
signed an agreement providing a dowry of $1.6 million, around $60 million today,
Wow.
as well as an income of $2 million in stocks
Oh my God.
per year.
Per year.
Yeah, that's what an income would be, right?
Yeah. Jesus. That's insane.
So, like, just to take her home, here's $60 million, basically, like in today's money, and then $2 million in stocks every year.
Which would be like, to put that same perspective, what? It's even more.
Yeah, more than 60 million.
Yeah, like
That's insane.
that's crazy.
That's insane. Granted, I mean, the stocks could bust, but
Yeah, bust, or they could also increase in value.
yes. So
If he blows through this, he's an idiot. Like, he's an absolute moron.
So the hitch in Alva's plan, Consuelo had no interest in marrying the Duke of Marlborough. And I'm so sorry, I can't say that better. Because she is actually secretly engaged.
Oh my God.
Guess who she's engaged to?
The Duke of Canterbury.
No.
Who?
An American socialite named Winthrop Rutherford. He's 15 years older than her.
How old is she at this time?
19.
Oof.
Ew. Gross.
Oh my God, that's like my age, roughly.
Ew.
Yeah, it's like you're older than me.
Ew.
That'd be like me going after an 18-year-old. It's the same thing. That's disgusting.
That's so gross.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Ugh. Okay.
So
Move on.
her mom doesn't know about this, right? But all she knows is that her daughter's like, no, I'm not going to marry this Duke. And she's like begging and crying and demanding. And Consuelo is known to be very quiet and obedient, like freakishly so. Like people are like, that girl's not okay.
But she's scheming.
No, and she is. She's very quiet. She's very obedient. She's like very well behaved as a teenager, does everything right. But her mom is like hounding her so much, and she's in love with this other guy that she makes a plan to run away with Rutherford, her fiance. Then her mom finds out the truth and locks her in her room and threatens to have Rutherford killed.
Oh my God, that's wild.
And they've got the money to do it, you know?
Yeah,
I would
they
believe her.
do.
Consuelo continues to resist for some time, but then her mom pulls out a typical mom card
Uh-oh.
and says that she's fallen ill and she's weak and she wants to see her daughter. And she dramatically collapses, insisting that she's near death. So her good, obedient daughter gives in, feeling bad that she's made her mom sick.
Wow. We know the mom's faking it. Like,
Yeah.
we just know.
And then the mom announces the engagement of her daughter to the Duke of Marlborough. And miraculously, she's recovered. And there's no lasting effects from whatever it was that made her sick.
Wow.
Weird.
Who could have predicted that? That is so surprising.
It's so sad. So manipulative for what?
It sounds like a more sinister version of the Russell woman. Mm-hmm. The mom.
Yeah. No spoilers, though.
No spoilers.
So the couple does get married in New York at St. Thomas's Church on Fifth Avenue.
Can we still go?
I don't know, probably. And her mother had Consuelo under intense watch in the moments before the wedding because she suspected she would try to run away.
Oh my God, this is wild.
And then at the wedding, several guests witnessed that as Consuelo stood at the altar, she was weeping beneath her veil. It's so sad.
No, that's actually really sad. That's really sad. Like, I'm just laughing at the absurdity of it.
Yeah. And then to put the cherry on top of everything, of this really happy wedding day, after the ceremony, the Duke tells Consuelo that he's actually in love with another woman back home in England.
So she's like, dude, are you kidding me?
She's like, now's not the time, bro. Like, now's not the time. I don't care. So these two are both in love with another person. He's choosing to marry her because she's going to get him out of debt. She's not really choosing to marry him at all. It's not good. And that is how Consuelo Vanderbilt became the most imminent example of what is known as a dollar princess.
A dollar bill, yo.
Mm-hmm. So after the wedding, Consuelo crossed the Atlantic for a man she did not love. And what she found in England was a society of rigid rules.
Yeah, incredibly rigid.
Especially for women. Consuelo wrote candidly about the snobbery she encountered. She writes a memoir later in life and she tells us everything. Particularly the disdain aimed at Americans that she was facing. And they were often dismissed as, quote, nouveau-riche. And that made me so angry because I was like, It is her American money keeping your English estates alive.
Also, like I think they're just on the decline at this point, or like they're starting the decline, right?
Yeah.
As it's here, and like they're just dying a slow death, their empire, and I think they're bitter. They're bitter about it, I think, and they're grasping on to like kind of.
Oh, but our ways are better.
Yeah, exactly. Like their preeminence is fading.
Yeah,
they're grasping at it, and like here. Like at the time, the Americans are the upstarts.
Yeah.
And we're only rising in terms of like national prestige, like military, the economy, like even like, I mean, it'll be a couple decades later, but more like culture, right?
Yeah.
Especially like with Hollywood, like with the moving pictures. So like there's this, I think, rise in Americanism that they're just like, and to like, it's just kind of an extra slap in the face that like they were the colony. Yeah. It's like, oh, wow, we're like Tyre and they're Carthage.
Yeah, but we are on the decline now, and we're not bitter. We're very open about it.
We're incredibly like, no, this is so messed up.
This is so messed up. We're so going down.
No, we're not dying a slow death. We're just like having a collapse moment.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. Also, the weather was really gloomy. She did not like it. She wrote about that a lot. And the only thing colder than the English weather, her marriage.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. She wrote, like, she basically never saw him except for dinner time. Because, you know, they had those, like, formal dinners where everyone had to, like, dress up in gowns and sit together.
Yeah.
And she wrote about this saying, quote, how I learned to dread and hate those dinners. How ominous and wearisome they loomed at the end of a long day. Because it was, like, the only time she had to see him. Sucks.
Wow.
She does make the most of her time by prioritizing hospital and education work. She is the Duchess of Marlborough, and she supports children's welfare and healthcare access, helping to found Marlborough House, a center for working class women and children to get free healthcare.
Nice.
And she was deeply involved in the Red Cross. And she organizes fundraising events, and later during World War I, she's like a big volunteer and supporter there.
Very cool.
By 1906, she and the Duke had quietly separated. But divorce wasn't an option.
Right.
At the time, you needed a legal cause, and mutual unhappiness was not one of those causes. They were like, you hate each other? That's too bad. At the time...
Too bad. Lol.
English law allowed men to divorce over infidelity. Women, however, could only divorce if they could prove physical cruelty. How messed up is that?
I think it's pretty messed up.
Like, we don't even care if he's physically cruel. We only care if you can prove it.
Prove it.
And we want to let things escalate to that. So you get you. Hopefully you don't die.
You don't see any like fault in their logic?
No, not at all. So, like many women of the era, she was forced to be like married to someone she hated. There was no way out. It wasn't until 1920 that divorce laws shifted. Finally, she could file on the grounds of desertion.
Oh, okay.
But even then, the process is a bit degrading. She had to prove that he had been unfaithful, and she had to show that he refused her efforts to reconcile.
Oh, so it's there was 2 parts that she had to prove.
Yes. She called the whole ordeal humiliating, but desperate for her freedom, she did it anyway. After her separation and then eventual divorce, she was a big supporter of women's suffrage and social reform, both in the UK and in the US. So I think it's very fitting that she does eventually get her freedom from this marriage. And in 1921, she begins again. She meets and then marries Jacques Balsan, a French industrialist who offered her more of a partnership kind of marriage. And their marriage lasted until his death in 1956.
Oh, so happy marriage this time.
Happy marriage this time.
Nice.
Kind of makes sense that he's also an industrialist, like the family that she comes from.
Yeah.
Probably get each other a little bit more.
Yeah, the same world.
And I wanted to give a few other brief examples of dollar princesses, just to finish like painting the picture of this phenomenon. So we have Jennie Jerome, who later becomes Lady Randolph Churchill, an American heiress who married Lord Randolph Churchill and became the mother of Winston Churchill.
Wow. Okay. There you go.
Winston Churchill's mom was a dollar princess.
Wow. Yes, that's right. That is right. I knew that.
You did?
Yes, I knew. Well, I didn't know that she was a dollar princess. I knew that he was half American. Like his mom was American.
Well, now we know why.
Yeah.
His dad needed the money.
Wow. And he became prime minister.
Though her marriage was strained, she remained a powerful social and political figure in Britain herself. Then we have Mary Leiter, who would become Lady Curzon. She is the daughter of a Chicago department store magnate, and she married Lord Curzon, who became Viceroy of India. She embraced her role in British imperial society, but unfortunately she dies young in India. She gets sick there. So she was like more willing.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Dollar princess, at least. And then we have Nancy Langhorne, who becomes Viscountess Astor.
Oh, lovely.
Born in Virginia, she married into the wealthy Astor family and later became the first woman to take a seat in British Parliament.
Oh, that's interesting.
Big deal, right?
Yeah.
Her political career and sharp wit made her very, very influential in her own right.
That is a really interesting case.
Right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to point out something about the dollar princesses before I get to like my little conclusion. I think they are another example of the hypocrisy of the era, where like people are like fascinated by these like industrialist families that are like multimillionaires, and they're
like American royalty.
They're fascinated by them, but they're still looked down on because they're new money. And like they're using their money to get what they want, which is what it's for at the end of the day. Like, yeah, I want a noble title, so here you go. And people are looking down on them for it. I just think it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's like you're looking down on something that you need.
Yeah.
That is really odd.
Like you are participating in this, and yet the other person is less than you because they are using money. It's so weird.
It is. You're absolutely right. It is incredibly hypocritical.
Yeah. So I just wanted to point that out. So the story of Consuelo Vanderbilt and the many other dollar princesses of the Gilded Age are definitely not tales of romance, but they are interesting little windows into those invisible rules that shaped society during this time.
Yeah.
And the Gilded Age show dramatizes some scenes, of course, for TV, like some of the dynamics or some of the relationships. But this conflict between like old way, new way, duty, desire, obedience, agency, like those are very accurate. And that's why I like it. And it's tempting to view the Dollar Princesses as like passive or like, I don't know, like victims even. But I think it's really cool that many of them, like I showed, ended up using their roles for like a launching pad into some other form of influence.
I think that is really interesting as well. I mean, it's like kind of just making the best of a scenario, right?
Yeah.
You kind of accept that, like, okay, this is maybe not ideal, but I still have a lot of opportunity here. You have money and influence like that. You can always use that for, you know, to further things like for causes that you feel passionate about.
And how else could women at this time have influence?
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Pretty much.
So that's why I think they are fascinating. Fascinating enough to be the subject of season 3.
Yeah, and of this episode. Mm-hmm. They're welcome.
They're welcome. That's the story of the Dollar Princesses.
Wow, thank you, Steph. I actually really enjoyed that. I didn't know the story of any of those women, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to ask me before this episode, like, name me a single Dollar Princess, I'd be like, can't do it.
Cora Crowley from Downton Abbey. That should have been your answer.
I don't think she's real, so I don't know if that counts.
I think it counts.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Steph. I really like this episode.
Oh, I'm glad. And thank you, weirdos, for listening with us. Until next time.
Until next time, weirdos, adios.
Adios.